Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. This is August 22nd, and welcome to another edition of Charles Chat. We have a little special guest with us this, I guess could be morning, could be afternoon, could be evening, depending on when you're watching this. This is our oldest son, Jackson, and I've asked him to join me today for a few minutes to talk about books and reading. A couple reasons why. Some of the Heckmen are fond of reading and fond of books, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on here. But he is also probably one of the few young people I know, or guys or girls his age, that reads as much as he does and enjoys reading as much as he does. And so I thought it'd be good to maybe try to get inside his brain a little bit and find out why that is and see if there's anything we can learn from his experiences. So just a real quick background. My dad, I don't know, he has like 20,000+ books, I think, in his library. That might be an exaggeration. He has a lot of books. So we probably get our love for books a little bit from him. He's been known, at least in his heyday, to read about a book a day when he had the opportunity. I'm also a lover of books. Don't read near at the pace my dad does, but I can usually get through about 2 books a week. And I don't know what Jackson's like, but we're going to find out a little bit about him. So this is Jackson. Jackson is, tell us how old you are first of all.
14.
Jackson's 14 years old, so he just last week started high school. And Jackson's been reading for a while, so tell us a little bit about your first memories reading books. When do you first remember picking up a book and starting to read?
Well, I know my mother taught me to read before I started school with these big books. I don't remember much about them, but I didn't really get drawn into reading until 2nd grade when I was reading this children's novel series called The Magic Treehouse. It was about these 2 kids who had to go into this treehouse and it'd take them to different time periods in history. But even then, I don't think I was reading that much. I think I enjoyed the series, and I think that probably started my interest in reading, but didn't really launch it. And eventually, around 3rd grade, I believe I started reading the Harry Potter series and read the first 3 books, I believe, and I think that's when I really got into reading, was during that time. And I think over the course of 3 years, from 5th grade to 8th grade, of my reading, the amount of books I've been reading per month and week has increased. The amount of reading I'm doing daily has increased.
So what do you think fuels that desire for reading? Why do you keep reading?
Well, for me, there's multiple reasons I read books, and it depends on multiple factors. It can depend on the genre of books. Sometimes it may be just a book I'm reading for fun. Other times I may be doing it for a project for school. And then other times it may just be a book I'm really interested in and been wanting to read for a while. And I think those purposes typically affect what I get out of that book. Like if I'm just reading a book for fun and reading it kind of casually, I typically won't finish it as fast as if I were doing it for a project, and I won't really get as much out of it, but I'll still enjoy myself.
Okay. Tell us a little bit, what are some of the current books you're reading or have read recently? What's on your nightstand?
I recently read Lord of the Flies and To Kill a Mockingbird, and I am going to start another book called The Catcher in the Rye, I believe. And I've also been reading a couple books that my mom has given me about Christian faith. But I haven't done as much reading this summer as I have in past summers, in my opinion. But
Okay.
I'm getting more drawn into the classics.
Okay. Any reasons why you're drawn to the classics?
Well, I think it typically depends on the classic, because I believe those books are highly regarded, and what was even popular is a lot of times because of the that's something I've become more interested in over the past few years, and that's why I've read those type of books recently, because I am interested in what they have to say.
Okay. So Catcher in the Rye, that's a book that has a theme of teenage rebellion. So
Yeah.
you heard it here. We'll have to watch out for that one. Make sure that doesn't get to his head. Just kidding.
Only like 10 chapters in that, so.
Any favorite books you have? Any books that come to mind as being especially favorites, especially formative, enjoyable?
I'd say I did enjoy, I think one book I really do enjoy, the two that immediately come to mind are the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because I think that kind of fueled my likening to fantasy and that type of genre. I really enjoy that, those type of stories. Another one would be the Harry Potter series, and I think that's one of the reasons that's one of my favorites is because I've spent so much time in it. I think I read the first book, the first 4 ones, I believe, multiple times, because I remember when I first started it, I didn't actually finish the series. I got bored with Order of the Phoenix, and so I just kind of stopped reading it for a while, and then I picked it up again, and then I almost finished it, but then I didn't, and then I read it all again, and I'm not sure why I did that, but I did. So
Yeah.
that's a book I've gotten to understand and analyze a lot.
All right. Very good. Well, hope you enjoyed a little bit of this mini interview today about books and reading books and favorite books and young people reading books. So hope it encourages you to find a teenager in your house or somewhere else and get them reading, and got some suggestions for you here today if you don't know where to start. So thanks for joining us.